Hi, I'm Bailey with Twiddy, and in honor of National Lighthouse Day, we're going to try to hit every single lighthouse here on the Outer Banks in just one day.
The lighthouse tour we're doing today starts in Corolla and goes all the way to Ocracoke Island, with a stop in Manio as well. Trip to Ocracoke Island just from Nag's Head can take up to 3 hours. We only have between 9 and 4 o'clock to hit every single lighthouse. We're starting at the Currituck Beach Lighthouse. This lighthouse is very different from its neighbors on the Outer Banks, as it's the only one left unpainted, exposing that beautiful red brick. The lighthouse began construction in 1872, and it first glowed on December 1st of 1875. Around 1945, the lighthouse did become somewhat abandoned. It wasn't until 1980 when the Outer Banks conservationists stepped in and restored the lighthouse to its now current glory. Climbing this lighthouse was not for the weak. It has 214 steps, and by the end of it, my legs were done.
Now, I'd finished the Currituck Lighthouse, and our next lighthouse stop is here in the Oak Marshes Lighthouse. I'm feeling pretty dead from that climb on the Currituck Beach Lighthouse, so this is a nice break.
This lighthouse is the Oak Marshes Lighthouse. Before this one, there were 3 other lighthouses located at the southern end of the village of Wanchese that carried the Oak Marshes Lighthouse name. This one here now, right along the boardwalk in Manio, is a replica of the 3rd one to carry the name in 1877. The lighthouse in Wanchese was decommissioned in 1955 due to the extensive repairs always needed and the compromising foundation that the lighthouse had. While it may not be tall like the rest of the lighthouses along the Outer Banks or the average lighthouse you'd expect, it was very important for local fishermen and sailors at guiding them into the island.
Our next stop on our lighthouse tour is the Bodie Island Lighthouse, right behind me. Now I know what you're thinking, why did I call it Bodie Island and not Bodie? Well, the truth is it is pronounced Bodie Island. Bodie Island and Bodie Island Lighthouse, the name origin is unclear, but there is a legend that the name came from the bodies that came ashore of shipwrecks in the graveyard of the Atlantic. This lighthouse you see today is the 3rd Bodie Island Lighthouse. The first Bodie Island Lighthouse was built in 1847 on the south side of Oregon Inlet, but it was abandoned 12 years later due to the poor foundation. It was rebuilt in 1859 in the same location, but unfortunately blown up by Confederate soldiers who were retreating and were afraid the Union would use it to their advantage. Final lighthouse was built in 1872 on the north side of Oregon Inlet near the northern border of the Cape Hatteras National Seashore. So now we're down in Rodanthe, and we're going to make a lunch stop at Wade's Deli and Market. Alright, we have 2 more lighthouses to go, and now we've made it all the way down south to the Cape Hatteras Lighthouse. The first Cape Hatteras Lighthouse was authorized in 1794 when Congress recognized the danger posed to the Atlantic shipping. However, construction did not begin until 1799, and the first lighthouse was lit in October of 1803. Made of sandstone, it was 90 feet tall with a lamp powered by whale oil. However, the lighthouse was not successful in protecting ships from the diamond shoals. Because of this, they added 60 feet to the lighthouse and painted the top red for better visibility. The new lighthouse was built on December 16, 1870. This made the lighthouse the tallest brick lighthouse in the United States and measures 198.48 feet from the bottom of the foundation to the top of the pinnacle of the tower. There are 269 steps. In 1999, after years of study and debate, the Cape Hatteras Lighthouse Station was moved to its present location. Fun fact, there actually was petitions and protests and propaganda put up to stop the move of the lighthouse and to save it instead. As you can tell from these clips, the lighthouse is also going under a restoration project. It's an 18-month-long project. It's currently 60% done and hopefully going to reopen in the summer of 2026. Now we're down to our last lighthouse, which involves taking the ferry across to Ocracoke Island to the Ocracoke Lighthouse. So here we are, waiting in line, getting ready, and hoping we make it there in time because they do close at 4 o'clock, and it's 2 right now, and it takes an hour to get over the ferry. So we're at the end of the ferry ride, getting ready to go into Ocracoke, and we're gonna go to the lighthouse. Welcome to the Ocracoke Lighthouse, the oldest still-serving lighthouse in North Carolina and the second oldest lighthouse in the U.S. This lighthouse was first lit in 1824 after the previous lighthouse on Castle Island, built in the 1700s, became obsolete. Congress found that we needed a lighthouse in Ocracoke, so they purchased a 2-acre lot for $50 from Jacob Gaskill, whose family cemetery is still on the property. While it's deemed unsafe for public climbing, you can still visit the grounds anytime. Right now, the lighthouse keeper's house is undergoing construction and will be raised 5 feet due to the 7.5-foot storm surge it faced during Hurricane Dorian in 2019. The house got about 18 inches of water, so we'll be looking forward to having it restored and brought back to life for visitors to see.
We did it! I hit every single lighthouse here on the Outer Banks in one day. And this was so much fun. I would definitely do this again. I got to explore the Outer Banks all the way from Corolla to Ocracoke in one day like I've never done before. And it was just so much fun. I got to learn so much more about the lighthouses than I already did. And yeah, I'd really recommend doing this while you're on vacation. If you want to plan to do this on your vacation, a good start is to first book your home with Twiddy and Company. Then you start at the Currituck Beach Lighthouse and make the rest of the way south to the Ocracoke Lighthouse. It's so much fun and you won't regret it, and it will be a great family memory.